G'day guys, how's it going? Today I'm going to be showing you how to update our clients' websites using ManageWP on WordPress. So as you can see, I'm already logged into ManageWP in the Orion dashboard, and you can do the same by getting the login details from our password management software. But once you've logged in, you'll see a dashboard that looks very similar to this, and this is kind of an overview of all the websites we have connected to this dashboard, and you can get a bit of an update on everything here, and this is where we'll do most of our work. But just to show you quickly, you can go over to the left hand side and click on clients to see all the different clients we've got, and if you click on add-ons, you can see all the different websites we've got connected, some of which are here, which are under my name, but are just some of our side projects and other websites we like to keep up to date, but the other ones here are all client care plan sites. Once we've had a look at that, that's fantastic. You can do the same under the website section. It just shows you the same information again, and you can actually log into their websites from here as well, which is really handy. So what we can do is click Open Website Dashboard, and that'll take us to a dashboard within ManageWP for this site. We can click on Open WordPress Dashboard, which will log us into the back end of that client's website. We can also click on View Backups, which I've never really done, but it shows the backups we've taken of this website. And we can also hit Site Options, which lets us change a few other things like the site title, the admin username. We can reconnect the website, refresh the thumbnail, remove the website if a client's no longer on a care plan. That's when we'll click this button. And there's a few other things here that we very rarely ever touch, but it's good to know they're here. So you can have a look at that later on your own time. And as I said, the main thing we click on here is to open the WordPress dashboard. If we need to log into that website specifically, this saves us from getting other login details. It takes us directly into the back end of the website, which is really handy. But the other thing you can do is click on Open Website Dashboard, which, as I said, takes you to a dashboard for that website specifically, and it shows you all the different add-ons that we could use or things we can do for that one website in here. So for this one that's actually one of our own websites, there's no paid add-ons enabled on it, and you can see if it's paid, the star will go from grey to gold. But at the moment we've just got monthly backups. We can have a look at all the plugins installed. We can also look at a security scan if we wanted to. I clearly haven't done it in quite some time, but I know that website's fine and it's very fast and whatnot. To show you the difference, we can have a look at another website like the DGA website. This one has quite a lot of add-ons enabled because it is on our premium or summit care plan. So it has a lot of add-ons enabled. We've got the link monitor, we've got security scans which go off, I believe, daily. We can see it's all clean. We've got speed tests that are done daily. We can see it's really great. It's not super blazing fast, but it is a large e-commerce website, so we're happy with these results. That speed time has crept up a little bit, so if we notice it get any higher than the average of around 3 seconds, we'll typically let someone on our development team know and they can look into that further. So that's something to keep an eye on. Uptime monitor. This is pretty good to see. We want to see this in the 99.9% range, and we can see that everything's going well. It's been up uninterrupted for over 4 days, and in the last time it was down for around 2 minutes. But another good thing to keep an eye on. We've then got the client report that we want to set up. This is an automated report we send every month, which we can just do through the scheduling section. We go in here, we open the automated client reporting settings, we click monthly, we set the time to 9 AM, we set the date or the number, which corresponds to the date of each month, to the same date that their billing renews for their care plan. So DGA renews on the 23rd. We then set the template to website care plan. We leave everything else the same, let the email send automatically, and then click Save Changes, and everything else is done for us, which is really, really handy. Beyond that, the only other thing I wanted to show you that you might want to keep an eye on, besides the performance and security things, are the link monitoring. If a website has link monitoring, it will let us know if there are any broken links on a client's website. So to check that, we can go into here and we can see that it's found several. And sometimes, especially for e-commerce websites, products change, products get deleted, and it will sometimes pick up a lot of false positives or false negatives actually. And those broken links aren't actually broken links, but it's always good to check, and we can always see if anything stands out. So something that does stand out to me is the link source being on the home page. It's quite rare that there are broken links on the home page specifically. So what we can do to check that is simply click on the home link source section, and it will take us to where it's found the broken link. The next thing we can do is copy some of this link text, which is the text that's been linked that is apparently broken. So I've copied that now. and I'll go over to the website link we just opened, and I'll hit Control F. Oh, I did just click on a button accidentally. I'll hit Control F and I'll paste that text in, and it will find that text on the page. And then apparently there's only one of one, so this must be the button it's talking about. This is the easiest way to find it. If there are like multiple versions that we have to sift through to find out, we can get very specific and have a look at the code and the preview to find out exactly what it is. But typically it's really easy to find it by just looking for that specific piece of text. And then I'll click on the link to see if it's broken. And it looks like it's all good. So it's taken us through to the lighting towers and air compressors. And it looks like everything's all right there. So we might have a look around. If we look here though, if you look in the bottom left-hand corner when you're on Chrome, you can see what the links are. So I'm hovering over it here and that looks all good. But if I go down and hover over the text, it looks like the link changes. So maybe this is the broken link, which it apparently is. So that is the broken link. So that's another good thing to keep in mind. I clicked on the image the first time, and the image actually didn't have a broken link. It told us that the thing that had a broken link is actually the View All button and the title button. So the image itself is fine, but it's actually the link text that was broken. So that's something that you have to really keep a close eye on, because if I just went off my first click, I would have thought everything was fine and moved on. But as we just found out, it looks like both of these links are broken. So what I now do with that information is I'll just go over to Slack, email one of the developers and let them know about that and just take note of things. Add it to the ClickUp dashboard underneath that client's care plan or in the support section if they don't have a folder, and just make a note of fixing a broken link on the homepage, and I'll paste in the text that is broken so that they can find it really easily. But once I've done those type of checks on individual websites and such, I could also see that it had a broken link over here on the main dashboard. It takes you through and it lets you know, so you don't have to click into each individual website to see that. But what you can now do, with everything else looking good, is actually run those updates. So what we've got here is the optimization section. Every week or whenever I log in here, I always just click the optimize all button because it deletes a lot of old revision records and such that just aren't necessary, and it cleans up all our clients' websites. So I'll do that at the end. The other thing I'll do is have a look through here to see if there are any comments that need to be approved. This is, again, typically not something that we have to worry about and something you have to look at, but it's just something that's easy to do. It looks like most of these things could be spam, which they all definitely are. So I'll just click spam all and clean that up just to clean up the dashboard. And then finally, the main thing that we use ManageWP for, and the main reason you're here, is to see how to update plugins, themes, and the WordPress core itself using this platform. So over here on the left hand side, we see a combined update section with all the websites we've got connected, which is super useful. And we can actually see all the plugins and the number of websites that have that plugin that need updating on the board. So what you can see here is it actually doesn't look like there's many updates today. There's one for Elementor Pro, and if I click on that, I can see which website it has it for, which is whitepeak.digital. Instagram feed pro needs to be updated for Mermaid Beach Radiology, and blah, blah, blah. When it comes to updating, I typically don't want to update more than 20 or so plugins at a time, and that's 20 total. So if there was one plugin that needed updating across 10 websites, that would be 10 plugins that need to be updated. So typically there are what's called primary plugins, which are found pretty much on every website that we run. Ones like Elementor, SiteGround Optimizer, for example, or WordPress Rocket, you might see. These are pretty much on every website that we have on this dashboard. So when that plugin needs an update, 5, 10, or 15 websites need an update, and we don't want it, and it's good not to do too many at a time just in case there are issues. So what we do is we'll bunch up all the little straggling plugins that are like one-offs and update all of those at the one time, because they're usually very non-essential and they won't likely break anything. Once that's done, we'll then update all the primary plugins, so the ones that are consistent across a lot of websites, and get that done. So now we've updated all of the secondary plugins. We've then updated all of the primary plugins. So all the plugins should now be updated at this point. And of course, keeping that 20 or so plugin rule in mind, you may have had to do that over more than just 2 update cycles, which you can do by just selecting all here, and maybe we unticked the SiteGround Optimizer because it's a primary one. I'm not going to do it this time though, because there's only 7 plugins in total. We're nowhere near 20, and I'll just click the update button. If you're worried there's going to be an issue and there might actually break a website, that's when you can use the Save Update button. But if you are worried a website's going to break, I would recommend not updating it through this panel. I would update all your other websites and then go into that website itself, and then you can see a dashboard of its specific updates only, and then you can run its Safe Update from there. A Safe Update essentially takes a screenshot of the website, backs up the website, and then if there are any issues after the update, it'll check those screenshots again and compare. If there's any changes, it'll know something's broken, and it will revert the website back. And that's a really great thing to have. We don't use it very often though, because it takes a whole lot longer. So we only do it when we're concerned there might be an issue. So what I'll do is I'll just click the Select All button, and then I'll just click Update, and that will start updating all the plugins. If I clicked Update All up here, it'll update plugins, themes, and WordPress all at the same time, which for best use, we don't typically do. What we like to do is update all the plugins first, then update all the themes, and then update WordPress. And that's kind of just a safe way to update things based on the least likelihood that something's going to break, because WordPress itself doesn't have great backwards functionality. So if we update to the latest version of WordPress, there's a good chance that outdated plugins aren't going to interact very well. But if we update all our plugins first, it's almost guaranteed that they'll work fine with an older version of WordPress. And the same with themes and such, if that makes sense. So we like to go plugins, then themes, then WordPress. Now, doing these updates, we've already got a pop-up here telling us that there is an issue, saying that something has failed to update. And I already actually know what this is, because this has been an issue for the last couple of weeks. And that's because one website or two have premium plugins that require license keys. So you have to pay for these plugins that have since gone invalid. And therefore, we're not able to update those plugins because we haven't paid for them. We've notified the client that is in charge of that website already, and we're leaving it in their hands if they want to update that or not. But at this current moment, they haven't done it. But typically, if I see a pop-up like this and it's one I don't recognize, I will then investigate that further by going into that website's dashboard, specifically opening up the back end of their WordPress website and trying to update that plugin again. If there is an issue, it will then on that back-end WordPress screen show me the error message, and it typically says something along the lines of, this package cannot be updated, and then I'll look into that plugin more specifically, and I'll see that the license key is either deactivated or invalid, and that's when I will reach out to one of the people on our team or to the client directly to let them know that we need to renew that, or we won't be able to make updates. But that's all good there. I'll hit the dismiss button because I know that that's already been sorted, and it's going to finish updating those other plugins. Once that's done, I'll go over to the theme section. I'll select update on Divi and I'll click update again. And then there's nothing left for WordPress, so pretty much everything's done. Finally, I'll then just click the optimize all button, which you can certainly do over here. You don't have to do it one at a time. You can just click optimize all, and then I'll close out a ManageWP. So by no means is this something you should be focusing your entire attention on until it's complete. It's something I put on another monitor and I just look at every 20, 30 minutes and do the next step for, because it's 90% of it just gets done in the background and it only requires me to make a couple of clicks. So by no means should you just be sitting here and watching the updating plugins thing, because it does take some time. So you definitely want to just put it in the background and check on it every once in a while and get it done over the course of a morning, for example, because it doesn't take up all that much time in the moment, but it does take a lot of time in the back end to just do its thing. So definitely set and forget is the idea there. But that's pretty much it. As I said, once this is done, I'm going to update the theme. I'm then going to clear up the optimization section, and then I'm all done. And I'll check back again in a couple of days to see if any new websites need updates. The only final thing to keep in mind is for a website that has been highlighted from a developer, something like DGA, for example, has had issues in the past with being updated and having issues breaking because there are a lot more plugins on that website. So what we do sometimes do for this website is log into that website's backend dashboard specifically first, and then update all its plugins there, and then go around and update all the rest of the websites from this dashboard. But those are kind of one-off scenarios, and will be stuff taken. We'll take you through if that is the case, if you're the one managing this for us. So no need to worry about that. At the moment, you now know everything you need to do in order to use ManageWP to update all our clients' websites in the one place. So thank you so much. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I wish you the best of luck.